Sweet, let's roll. Today we're gonna have to get this login script done. I think I'm pretty much ready to move to Hyperland full time and give it a really good shot. So in the past, anytime I've switched to Hyperland, it usually lasts like a day or two, and then I'm like, oh, this is annoying or that's annoying, and then I move back to like DWM. But I'm gonna switch out the greeter. Right now we're using init RC, I think, to launch DWM on a login, and we're gonna change that over to greet D and switch out that so it will auto launch our Hyperland. So right now Hyperland's looking pretty good. Ooh boy, that is sweet. And that feels good. Oh, that feels so good. Hey, Dan. Sparta. Ah, man. Today's gonna be a good one. I'm sure of it. I am loving it. So we got that. Probably let's just go ahead and launch our IDE. Get that going. Actually, I don't like that background. Let's fade it to something else. Oh, there we go. Oh man, pretty eye candy. Bud, how's it going? Oh, a little bit earlier today, and I am. Oh man, I'm still waking up. I'm trying to get in. I was like, I gotta get more. I felt bad yesterday because I was like, I just ran out of time. And I was like, all right, today I'm gonna get in and get at least three hours. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Sounds good. Let's do that. That's perfect. Bam. All right, cool. We're ready. We're ready to just jump right in. Yeah, just waking up myself. Oh man. All right, here we go. Let's go. Theme. Oh yeah. So this is where we're at on the theme. Oh, yeah. 130. Okay. Now the idea between the theme. So in the past we just have this, so we can save this out and it switches the theme, and that's perfect. So that's looking pretty good, but I want to be able to do it on the fly. Obviously, I don't want people changing a text file. We're not Neanderthals after all. We want to give like a drop down theme changer kind of thing going on. And also add in some other themes like these ones. I don't think I really even use, which is kind of strange, but yeah. We're working on a Hyperland new theme using Quick Shell. Should be pretty sweet. I'm really digging it. Like, we actually had, in yesterday's stream, we actually had the developer of the project find us and essentially kind of chastised me a little bit. He was like, hey, come on now. And I was like, hey, I'm not a programmer. Let's cut me some slack here, man. I'm just trying to make it work. So I went back and forth a little bit, and I think he gave some good examples too yesterday. Shoot, what was the? I don't think did I save it? I might have to go back and find that example because he gave me an example of one of the ones he uses, and yeah, it should be good. Anyways, we'll just make it up as we go. Top of the morning. Actually, this is kind of funny. Now that you say that, Dan, top of the morning. So my wife, she don't watch Jacksepticeye very much anymore, but she used to watch Jacksepticeye. And when he started his coffee company, top of the morning, she bought some of his coffee. And I keep buying the coffee. It's like the only YouTuber coffee. Like I've bought a whole bunch of. Usually, if YouTubers are shilling something, I'll buy it just to try it out. But his damn coffee is actually really good. I've I've been drinking it for like 4 years, 5 years, whenever he launched the thing, and it's pretty damn good coffee. I don't know where he gets it from, but I know it's shipped locally because even with all like the tariff situation and stuff like here, uh, I think it's shipped from Colorado or something from here in the States. Now, obviously, he has overseas stuff for the Europe crowd too, and I was like, this coffee's really good. Like I want to buy it, and because all the stuff I get in the store is just not. I don't like the taste as much, which is pretty funny. Oh yeah, I shave my hair. Just that's what I do every month or two. Just cut it short. I'm a practical kind of guy. I'm a function over form kind of guy. I don't like spending more than 2 seconds in front of the mirror in the morning, and that's just well, a little longer than 2 seconds to brush my teeth, but you know, do what you got to do. Is it hot in Texas now? No, no, no. We're still like 70s, you know, which is only like 20, 22, 23 Celsius. So yeah, we're not on fire at all yet. It's really really nice here right now. Ah, push-ups, jalopy. Yeah. No, probably not today. I did about, oh God, what was it? Yesterday it was 120. So I'm quite sore from yesterday's workout. I don't think I'm going to work out today. That's why I was like, I'm going to go just with this. Oh, yeah, yeah, Black Rifle Coffee. Yeah, funny thing is, Black Rifle Coffee I like as well, K-Mosey, but don't go to their stores. The pop-up shops from Black Rifle Coffee are just awful. Like, they've totally screwed up their whole model for consumer. The coffee beans are good, but the actual coffee shops are just complete garbage. So, Black Rifle Coffee, dude, do better. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Past that, yeah, yeah. Post the Outfoxes dot files. Oh, perfect, perfect. Yeah, if you can post the link, that'd be great. Oh yeah, GTA 6. You know, I never even played through GTA 5 or GTA 4 for that matter. So I don't know. I just was never a GTA fan. Oh, I don't even have a browser. Okay, we're good. It's like I don't know what I'm restoring here. Let's put up the blinders for a second. All right. There we go. That's right. We looked at these a little bit yesterday, and Outfoxed had some other stuff going on. So probably first order of the business today is switch from DWM to launch into Hyperland on using like Greet D. And I think that would probably be the best greeter. So let's see. Let's see what we're going with there. Let's go Hyperland Wiki. Let's just go Hyperland Wiki. I feel like the wiki at Hyperland I'm really impressed with. This is really matured, which is funny because I remember one of my first critiques of Hyperland was it had poor documentation, I think is what I said in the very first video I did about Hyperland. And now the documentation has actually gotten very, very good. And it's gotten to the point where I'm like, ooh, I really like this, or I got an idea of what to use for this. System D startup, Arch. Universal Wayland Session Manager is recommended to start the Hyperland session on System D's distros. I've never used this. How have I never even heard of WMSM? What? I got you. All right. Provides a robust session management, including environment, XDG, auto start support, bi-directional binding with login session, whatever the hell that is, clean shutdown. Okay. Nice. Oh, this is the bind. Ah. And then XDG auto start is handled by System D. You know, I don't think I've ever used XDG auto start with System D. Or maybe I have. No. Yeah, I have. Yeah. I've never heard it called that. Very cool. All right, yeah, let's try this. I was going to go with Greet D, but you know, I really didn't like the last time I did Greet D. It felt very hacky. So I think I'm going to like this better. So in TTY, add this code to your shell profile. I don't like that. If you want to bypass compositor selection menu and launch Hyperland directly, use this code in here. No. Well, can we use xinit RC for that? Maybe. Although, no, you can't use xapps for that, but let's try it. Shit. Now, did that actually add? Nah, this is where I'm thinking. Wayland sessions. Hyperland. UWSM. Right there. Okay. Next up. It's already there. Okay. Yeah, this ain't login manager. What the hell is it though? I kind of want to try it. Let's try and just launch it with like X in it. I know that's not the right way to do it, but I want to try it. Any audio start should work, right? I feel like that would work. So this is the new one. So let's go TTY1. And then when we log in. No. You can't use xinit to do this. Yeah, that's not a thing, Chris. I knew it wasn't a thing, but I was like, nah, let's try it. Brain's not working this morning. All right, clear out that xinit. What do we got? Need to use Greet D. Okay. All right, here we go. Now Greet D is already installed. All right. So if we look, greet D Hyperland. Yeah, TTY. Until we get some of the starting going, I want to kind of get this going. Do we just do an auto login and say screw it? I feel like that's what we do. Could just do default greet d's greet config.toml. I think I liked greet d last time I tried it. But shoot. Let's see what we got. User greeter. Should be Titus. Default session. VT1, that's TTY1. Well, okay. Default session, user, another user. Okay. Default session, user Titus, yep. This is the default. Greeter is launching greet D with the configuration set. Okay, yeah. And what the hell's all that? Huh. Really? Okay. Seems pretty basic. It's kind of weird they have you create another file just for one line, though. Oh well. Let's go. There's a toml? Ah, conf. Nah. Okay. So this is the change for the command. I don't think my clipboard's working. That's okay. It's kind of working, just not integrated with the Vim yank put whatever. I can't remember the register, the Vim register. I think that's what it's called. Sure, we're gonna go with that. Why use sudo vim over sudo edit? Sudo edit? I don't think I've ever even used sudo edit. Probably should just use do as, to be honest with you. But I guess just I've used sudo for so many years that it just is ingrained in my DNA. Said sudo for over, what, 2 decades? 3 decades? Shit, I don't even know. I don't even want to put, I'm not doing that math. So sudo's here to stay. If it ever changes from sudo, I'm just going to alias it to sudo. It's like, hey, that's just... I wake up and I'm like, sudo on, sudo power up, sudo coffee. That's just how I am. You know? Yeah. Uh, Duaz is in Linux too. I think for a while, a lot of people were trying to make it replace sudo because sudo actually had quite a few security vulnerabilities. Whoever was maintaining the project. If you want to be logged in automatically, an initial session may be defined in here. Really? So you can just do this. I'm okay with that. Yeah. Login session type. What are we doing here? Well, I use Nano instead of Vim, to be honest. I think everybody starts off with Nano. Once you learn Vim, though, it's so much faster, and like probably where it clicked the most for me, Christoph, when it came to Vim, was doing a I wanted to say yank, but no. Everybody likes yanking in Vim, but no, it was a retrieve. So I was doing an edit on a server system, and I needed to grab the UUID for one of the hard drives to automatically mount that drive. And it really dawned on me when I was like, oh crap, I can do a retrieve and cat out the BOK ID and then just yank the UUID right off of that retrieve. And then I was like, holy shit, screw Nano. Nano is for Neanderthals. Vim is where it's at. And that's when just like completely opened my eyes to Vim. And then I was like, there's just no going back now. And I think that's when I was like the aha moment for me in Vim. Some people just, Vim's got just a stupid learning curve. But once you get over that hump, yeah, you'll never use Nano again. Like, the only time you use Nano is never. You just never use Nano. Vim's actually lighter weight, I think, as well. And Nano just feels archaic by any other metric. So that's why, like, you never see someone go to Vim and then go back to Nano. Once you learn Vim enough, you just use Vim. There is no going back. There's never that. So, it's just learning the syntax, learning some of the things, and you don't need to learn the whole thing about Vim. I'm still considered probably a Vim noob. It's just, I know, hey, retrieve. I know yank. I know substitute. I know cut paste. The normal bindings, but I'm still suck at Vim move motions and other stuff like that. I barely use them. Probably the findings pretty darn nice in Vim too. So yeah, I think really what I just said is everything I know about Vim. Not much, but it's enough. And man, does it make a massive difference. Yeah, and then Shift ZZ definitely is the way to exit Vim. Everyone always tries to do the colon, exclamation, Q. I'm like, no. Just Shift ZZ. Done. Yeah, it's just remembering the combos. Yeah, 100%. But I mean, once you get it, you get it. It's like riding a bike. You just don't forget that stuff. What about Zoxide? Do you still use CD over it? I still catch myself using CD every once in a while, but usually not. I'm pretty much converted over to Zoxide as well. So that's been pretty good. Let's see. Using login D session type. I don't know what that's about. Oh, dude, that's right. We're gonna use init initial session. So that's pretty good. See what that does. Let's go ahead and enable greet D. Do I need to disable Xedit RC? I feel like that should be disabled. Meh, I think when I enable greet D, it'll take care of it. Okay. So, we got that. Yeah, I'm still a pretty basic user for Zoxide as well. Oh, is there an extra? Oh, that might be a good catch. Let's see. Oh, good call. Thank you. There was an extra in there. All right. I think that's pretty good. We'll see. I feel like there's something probably missing out of this. Like, let me read that auto login one more time. Well, automatically. Okay. Uh-huh. I think it's all right. No, we're just auto logging in. I don't use lock screens or anything. This ain't a laptop. So yeah, a lot of people ask me about that, like auto logins on desktops and why I usually always set them. Frankly, if someone gets physical access to a system, you're kind of screwed either way. I mean, I may be locking out my mom or something. Sure, it might do that. But like if I get in front of your computer, dude, you're screwed. I'm going to get in your system. There's nothing you can do to stop me. It's just that's a thing. Like unless maybe you do like a Luke's, you get super paranoid with it. Obviously, don't use grub. I'm gonna get in through grub if you leave me some grub action. So if grub shows anything, you're screwed. Because I can easily edit that. But even then, I got live ISO. There's other ways to get in and just get what I want. It's just there's no locking it down from a physical perspective. You can, but it's ungodly difficult, or not difficult, but just a pain in the butt. So like you encrypt your entire drive, you do all the things to get it exactly how it is, to have some physical security on the system device. It's just why it's a desktop. I just like someone could just grab the whole box and take it. I guess, you know, they won't have access to the data on that box, but dude, if they're hauling off my system, they better have some muscles and try to get through all of my house and everything. Good luck. It's gonna be one hell of a maneuver. So anyways, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Why I usually just do auto login. Now on my desktops, or my laptops I should say, like anything that's mobile that's going to be out like on a coffee shop or something, yes, encrypt your disks. You don't want auto login on those. Someone could steal it and then have access to all your information. That would be super bad. So definitely in that regard, I won't. But like when it comes to recovery and messing around with partitions, man, when you add encryption into it, it's just a whole headache. Anyways, let's reboot and see how this system or greet D does. I don't think it works. I feel like the syntax is off. I just don't think that's it. Auto log into docs, yeah. Kensington locked to a concrete building. Yeah. You living in a bunker? Well, this is like, it's my own little bunker. So yeah, kind of. Yeah, if our name was Edward Snorton, Snorton, Snowden, and we all used Cubes OS, right? Cubes is cool. Don't get me wrong. Compartmentalization, security, encryption, all that's really important. But it's such a futile effort in today's world. There's just so many trackers that it's like you're gonna miss something. Yeah, no, Cubes is not horrible. It's kind of cool, like as far as all the stuff goes. I think we have a problem here. Let's go to TTY2. Let's do some troubleshooting. Houston, we have a problem. I was like, nah, that seems like that was a little bit too off. It's funny. Let's go Hyperland Wiki. And we're going to go and see what it says for... Is there a session manager? It might even have a greetd configurator here. I bet you it does. Well, where are you at, greetd? I like that config. Coffee bars configs look kind of right there. Still too much garbage on the bar, but you know, it's kind of cool. Hyper ecosystem. greetd, where you at? And I think we could actually do something like this. We could just one-line that if statement to execute US UWSM start instead of the command we were using. Maybe. Let's see. greetd. Where are you at? Is there a search? greetd. All right. greetd, where you at? Man. I feel like there should be something here. Let's regreet. Oh. Well, that's cool. Kind of like that. All right, default session. Let's check in with chat. What's up, Rudy? Switched to Linux recently. All right. Good stuff. Neri, yeah. I don't know. It's going to be hard to get me off of Arch for a while. I really, really enjoyed Arch. Yeah, we could just do systemd auto login. Ever tried Gentoo? Yeah, I think they actually have binaries now. So, but like emerge and compiling the kernel. We did it on stream once. It's fine. It's fine. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you're a try hard if you use it for a daily driver, though. I just don't see the purpose. It would just get annoying. Yeah, you have too much time daily driving Gentoo. That's kind of my thought too, Lux. Like, hey, like, what are you doing with your life? Like, a lot of people always crap on Arch people going, by the way, I use Arch, but man, have you met a Gentoo user? That's a different breed. That's a different breed right there. By the way, why do people hate you? They seem to recommend DistroTube over you. Hey, man, different strokes for different folks. You gotta do what you gotta do. And the one thing about me is I'll just say, hey, this is my opinion. Here you go. Take it or leave it. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people, a lot are like, well, all distros are good. We should all live together in harmony. I'm like, no. Get the knives out. This is Linux. This is Thunderdome. We battle for the distros. If you're not an Arch user, what are you doing with your life? But you might be doing work and you're actually like a Debian user and you're just like wanting something stable, but I get that. But like, yeah, come on now. Like when it comes to distros and Linux, it's like known. Everyone stabs each other in the back. We're all out for blood. If you don't use insert distro here, you're a complete idiot. I just summed up the entire Linux community in a nutshell for you. So also another thing I like to do is I actually tell the truth, like uncomfortable truths that no one likes to say out loud in the Linux community. I get a lot of shit for this, but some people in the Linux community say gaming on Linux is incredible. Not when you compare it to Windows, it isn't. Windows gaming is way, way better because guess what? All games are made for Windows. True story. Water is wet, sky is blue. This is the world we live in. There's just uncomfortable truths like that I tell to make sure I just don't disenfranchise someone new coming to Linux. And some people just really, really don't like that. But again, I don't want to bring someone to Linux just to lie to them and be like, hey, we got the best food, the best drink over here, and then they walk in and it's just a bunch of stuff from like Walmart or something, Hey, there's certain things, man. There's certain things that Linux does great, and there's certain things Linux doesn't do so well. And I think we just should stop lying to people and saying everything works great over here. Nah, not everything's better. Not everything's better. When it comes to video editing, not great. DaVinci Resolve works way better on Windows. It does not have feature parity. Yeah, the Linux crowd's probably like, oh, Titus, it works. And I'm like, yeah, it does work, but does it have AAC audio? Like one of the absolute standard for most recordings. No, it can't read it. You're just gonna get a flat line with no waveform on your ingest. Good luck. I mean, you could always remix it with like Opus. Hell, that's what I do on my OBS just so I can edit in Linux. Is I will record my audio in Opus because I feel like the compression's a little bit better. I think the audio waveforms are a little bit better than AAC. But when someone gives me video, shit's always in AAC, and I don't want to be like, well, let me boot into Windows. It's just stuff like that. But I don't want to be like negative Nancy here. There's a lot of things Linux does really well too. Like when it comes to tinkering and making your desktop and making the system you want to use with nothing else, there's no better operating system out there. Linux is just king. You could think it up in your brain and you have the skills, you can put it to the screen. That's incredible. And Linux has really ignited my passion for computing again. Like I enjoy using Linux. When I boot into Windows, immediately I'm like, oh, fucking Windows. All right, here we go again. Ah, shit, here we go again. All right, we're booting Windows up. Let's go. What'd you do this time, Microsoft? What's this next update? Oh, shit. You know, can't get mad. I make my money off of Windows, so, you know, Windows, let's go. Let's go. All right, you dumb bastards, but you still got your monopoly, and everyone still uses this shit. So that's what we're stuck with. This is my life. That's your typical Windows user. What was the last time you met a Windows user that's like, oh, I love Windows, everyone should use Windows? That person doesn't exist. They don't. Nobody likes using Windows. Everyone fucking hates it. But it's not to say Windows isn't the best at certain things like gaming and using Adobe products and using Microsoft. Well, no. Actually, using Microsoft Office is actually better on Mac for some odd reason. like not even Microsoft does their monopoly correct. Yeah. And that's it's just computing things. I love it. I love it to death. But I mean, I love a lot of the computers, and that's the thing. Like, you'll see me bounce around and stuff. And you know, Windows is job security. That shit's gonna break. It's gonna break into 1,000 little pieces. So, you know, I'm not mad at Microsoft. Disappointed? I don't even know. I just expect it now. It's just like, hey, when someone just shits on you enough, you just learn to deal with it. And that's Windows in general. Like, it has been terrible for a very long time. Like, well over a decade. Like, I haven't. Last update that I enjoyed from Windows was probably 1709 and Windows 10, which was probably like circa 2016. And then I was like, oh, this is not bad. And then every single update since has just been like, oh, storage spaces. Is that going to delete my file? Oh, yeah, that deleted the files. All right. Yeah. That's good. That's great. All right. Oh, are we removing that from registry? Oh, okay. Oh, that's actually listed as a service, but I can't edit the service. Oh, that's nice. Oh, we're starting to integrate more into like UWP and, you know, just adding stubs and adding recalls so it can take screenshots of every single little thing I do. I'm like, this is fine. Yeah. All right. Sure. Why not? Yeah. Okay, Windows. Great. Let's go. Oh. Yeah, and everything's like cloud-based and just stuff. God bless. And then like the focus on like the AI slop, it's just like, oh my god. Was it Microsoft? What company was it, the ones that says now 30% of our crap's written by AI? I can't remember the company that was that Microsoft that said that? I don't remember. But I was just like, oh god. 30%'s a lot. Was it? Okay. That's just insane. Shopify. Have you ever dealt with like liquid files in Shopify and some of the editing that goes into those? That's kind of insane too. Yeah, just the AI stuff. Like, I like using AI, don't get me wrong. And I like to show it on stream a bunch because it is, when it works, it's nice. But a lot of times, as I've shown time and time again, it just hallucinates. It makes crap up. Most times, it never gives me the complete answer. It's like, it gives me enough to where I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I see what they're trying to do here because it stole a bunch of other people's code. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me fix that real fast. And then I can fix it up. And then I'm like, okay, there we go. We got it. We got something. So, but to think that people, like the average person on the street, if you walk up to them and ask them about AI, they're saying they're going to take programmers' jobs. They're going to come in and it's just going to eventually get so good, it's just going to do everything perfectly. And it never will. Even if it was absolutely had the most processing power, AGI, all that stuff, eventually, here's the thing, everyone has different opinions and tastes, and most of the problems with AR is you don't have the knowledge to tell it what to do. You're still the limiting factor a lot of times in AI, even if it were good. And sometimes it is, but very rarely. And you got to know when it's wrong. And so many people just blindly trust it. And I keep seeing people, they talk to me about AI, and then I'm like, well, you done screwed up now. You're going, here comes a 30-minute rant your way. And then afterwards, they walk away from me going, oh shit, let's not talk to that guy again. He's a little crazy. I'm tired of Bill Gates. You know what they say? The good die young, so Bill Gates is probably going to live to like 150. All right. let's go. What do we got? I think what is wrong with that in launch? I think we take out that initial session. I think that initial session was just a little too much for it. Oops. Let's just come down here. Let's just go with that. And I think that's fine. The other thing I needed to look up is hyper. Hyper. And I was looking up what were we looking at? I'm starting to remember why I don't stream early. Although it might be more entertaining. Because my brain doesn't wake up. You know, for the longest time when I started working a lot for myself, I was like, man, I have been stealing from all my employers for like decades. Because my brain doesn't turn on until like noon. And my work product, like, for 2 hours at like between 10 and noon probably, I'll work for 2 hours and get like 5 minutes of work done. Facts, you know, it's just how my brain works. So I came in here for something. I was looking up. Oh my god, if I didn't have coffee, that would be rough. There's a typo in my monitors variable? Oh, preferred. Good catch. Dude, chat. I tell you. System probably wouldn't even boot without chat. First day is bread I bake. Yeah, well spotted. Well spotted. Oh, yeah. I was looking up the hotkey on how to quit. Where did I put that? Where's my binds? So, mod key M. Ah, that works. All right, let's kill everything. All right, we're going to come back to here. This will never get into Hyperland, Flaffy. That's funny. Let's sudo system ctl stop greet d. All right, then just start it, right? Mm-hmm. Problem there. All right. Oh no. All right, let's just reboot. There's something wrong with my greetd file. What's wrong with it? Making a guide on how to port GHC to Magia, but Pluma sees the document as a script due to using ifs and do's. How does one change that behavior? Christoph, I have no idea. You used a bunch of words I'm not familiar with. GHC, Magia, Pluma. Don't even know what that is. It's not Hyperland. It's totally greetd. It's me borking greetd up. We're gonna ask AI to fix it for us. That's what we do here. I'm here for the robot overlords. Less work I have to do, and my brain's not turning on. So maybe AI is gonna be better. I feel like we can do this. Yes. Let's just have it edit the files directly for our login. What could go wrong? Yes. Fix this login using greetd configs. All right. Let's go. Oh, we don't even have a Polkit agent up. Good call. Nice. So what AI wants us to do is switch that to just Hyperland, ignoring the config file we created, and fix service name to be greetd instead of login. This is the correct service name for greetd. That feels wrong, but okay. I'll allow it. Fix the formatting of the service to use proper spacing. Oh yeah, service does not have proper spacing. That's true. You have a valid config file for hyperland.conf. Verify. Verify groups. Yes. Oh, look, it's gonna run journal CTL. Let's see what it finds. That's what it already recommended. Command and then user. Yeah, that's already there. Well, of course it wasn't applied. Okay, whatever. All right, let's fix that. I'm not giving AI sudo. That just sounds like a bad idea. All right, let's just kill this. Well, I do want to use that UWSM. Let's fix that spacing. All right, cool. I'm just gonna reboot. AI, let me RMRF / this. I forget. I saw a post not too long ago. It was hilarious. This this programmer / whatever, AI bro is what we're gonna call him. It was like, I was working on my program, was working perfectly, and then AI blew the entire thing up, and I couldn't get back. And I was like, This guy wasn't using Git. I'm not a programmer, and even I know how to use Git. Come on now. Git's like the first thing you learn. You still gotta learn something. I mean, it's pretty funny. Year of Hyperland? I think so. I think old PewDiePie, old Felix launched Linux. I mean, that was probably the best Linux advocation video in the world ever made. More people, like, here's the impact of it, right? He didn't mention me in that video, yet all my Linux videos have now gotten 50% more views. So, you know, I went from 40,000 views a day to like 60,000 views a day on my Linux content. That's the power of that. So think of that. There's like at least an extra 10, 20,000 viewers per day in Linux content. And guess what? It hasn't fallen off. So that tells me a lot more people are interested in Linux just because of PewDiePie making a Linux video. That's insane. I have never seen anything that influential enter the Linux space. So love it, love PewDiePie, hate him, whatever. If you're on Linux, that's all good. Having more people interested in more eyeballs on Linux is just always a good thing. Although it may make some of the open source neckbeards probably a little cranky because they're like, oh, gosh, these noobs coming into Linux. I can't believe it. Hey, this worked. That worked. I wasn't paying attention. Did that auto log in? Or did I log in? Oh, yeah, it auto logged in. Wait, we deleted the auto login, right? Speaking of noobs, apparently this noob doesn't know how Greet D works. Huh. AI was right here, by the way. Thanks, AI. All right, let's break it. Now we fixed it. All right, restore that. Now, I did want to try this useful utilities, and I wanted to try that system D startup. Yes, I wanted to try UWSM. Now, what is UWSM? So I kind of want to do like an exec UWSM start hyperland.desktop. What do we think of that? I feel like that's good. So like, let's say here, we're going to AI it too. Let's AI. Would you like this added to Xinit RC or a system D service? You stupid AI. Xinit RC is Xorg, and this shit is Wayland. All right, sorry. I had to troll AI for a little bit there. All right, but it did give us what we needed. Mhm. I'm pretty sure that would work. What do you guys think? You don't watch me for free. You must pay me. Just chat. Sorry. It's the deal. Try this one. aistudio.google.com/app prompts/new chat. I violated the policies. Oh no. Anyways. All right. Let's save this out. I'm going to give this a whirl. I kind of want to see UWSM in chat. Hugs. I like that. I'm a big fan of hugs. I think hugs are fantastic. They always make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. Oh, can't read only. So one cool plugin I really like for Vim is sudo write. Boom. So sudo is this little plugin I installed because I kept adding, like, opening files not as sudo, and then you do all your edits, like, oh crap, now I gotta edit and I gotta tee this out as sudo using the command, and I was like, no, just install that plugin, and now anytime I forget to launch something as sudo, I can just go :sudo write, and then it just writes it as sudo. And I was like, it's legit. Janet, thank you for the raid. 88, how's it going? Oh my gosh, people are raiding us. Oof. We're having fun with Hyperland today for you new viewers out there. Just blasting things, blowing things up. It's what I do. I love breaking things. And then fixing them sometimes. just on occasion fixing things. I ran out of coffee. Man, it sounds like doomsday out there. It is raining and thundering. Do we think this is going to work? We just switched over to USWM to launch Hyperland. So it's like essentially like a wrapper for Hyperland. Ah, yeah, sudo brew coffee. I'm thinking this didn't work. Oh, the wolf. The wolf's coming to save us. All right. Thanks, HP. Blinky cursor of doom. Feels more secure already knowing the wolf's looking at me. Hyperland is a Wayland compositor that also has fantastic window management, a whole suite of tools that makes Wayland very functional. The creator of it is a guy named Vaxry, and he's made a lot of really neat things. One of my favorite creations he's made, not actually Hyperland, which was what he's known for, it's actually Hypercursor, because how cursors work in Linux is they upload a variety of high density pixel formats for every single resolution. There is actually really crappy scaling natively in Windows, or not Windows, but Linux. And how it handles cursors is just asinine. And the free, I think it's Free Desktop, the company Free Desktop or conglomerate, whatever, they just don't change this ever. So Vaxry just took it on itself and made Hypercursor. And it actually has like functional scaling, and it's really well done. It's probably my favorite project that he's ever made. And nobody ever talks about it. And it's fantastic. This didn't work, by the way. All right. Greet D. Hyperland.com. QT greet : Hyperland dispatch edit. I wonder what that's about. Anyways. Can Hyperland work on all architectures? I believe so. I don't think I've ever tried it on anything else. Oh, I need to redo my Raspberry Pi again. Everything with expert preference is reluctant to change. Lazy, that is just facts. Change is terrible. Any kind of change, awful. We will write everything in C code, and that's it. And if it's past, 1990, absolutely not. It needs at least a couple decades of experience before we try anything new. Oh, man. Anyways, UWSM, I don't know. I feel like, I just don't want to deal with it, so. Oops. Ah. Let's just go Hyperland. Can you make YouTube stream members for subscriptions only? YouTube stream members for subscriptions only? I don't know. What you asking there, Just Chet? I'm sorry to inform you that 2 decades ago includes 2005 nowadays. Shit. You just made me depressed. That was just yesterday. Oh, man. Sorry. Had to open the portal up. Get me a drink. I don't feel like going in another room and pouring another cup of coffee, so we're going to go with some sparkling energy from V8 Plus. I know, man. I know. God bless. 2005 does not seem like 20 years ago. At all, man. Man. It's a good year. I love 2005. Life was much simpler back then. Yeah. Hey. Well, we actually already knew that was going to work, so. I don't know why. I need to do some more research, I guess, on UWSM and see, hey, what's the deal with that? Oh, man. 2003 R2 is released. I really like 2003 R2. You know, my favorite Windows Server release was 2008 R2. I've probably said this a million times, but 2008 R2 was just such a good value. There were so many cool things. They had like remote app. You remember not paying for all these crazy licensing? Remote app was just included in 2008 R2. If you're like, what the hell's remote app, Titus? Imagine loading up any application on any system using just the server to run the app. So you could actually remotely run an application, much like Citrix, of modern day Citrix. Now, Citrix pretty much cornered this market, and I think they sued everybody else out of oblivion so they could have this monopoly. There are still some niche projects that kind of compete, but Citrix is kind of what every business uses, and their licensing is just awful. Don't get me started on Citrix. And then they overcomplicate it. Like, the whole Citrix infrastructure is just absolutely crazy. Like, I remember Citrix, like, 6.5 is, I think, what I got certified in it. It was actually cool. Sorry, we're going to go on a Citrix rant. It's just my brain's there already. And I remember it had, like, web interface. It had all these really cool things. And then Citrix did something just insidious with version 7. They split apart all these included functions, and then they made something called NetScaler. And that was just awful. Or maybe not NetScaler. I'm thinking it was some stupid front end. It had some kind of scalar title to it. Anyways, you had to pay licensing for that, and then you had to pay licensing for like the front end studio, and then you had to pay licensing for like the core product, whether it was Zen app, Zen desktop, whatever the hell it was. And then you had I mean, it required at least three. I want to say I had like 10 different virtual machines going, but I think it was at least three at a bare minimum for all these different functions. And then getting it all working was just ungodly awful. And I was thinking, thank God I don't have to deal with that anymore. I just can't. I just can't with a lot of big tech nowadays. I'm just like, y'all overcomplicated this just so you could charge a shit ton more money for licensing, and then made a worse product, more inferior product than what you used to sell freaking 20 years ago. And I'm like, how? How do you screw it up this bad? Like, it's terrible when you go back 15 years, 20 years, and you had a better product than the slop you threw out today, and that's only getting worse. Anyways. Oh, yes. Greed. Ah. I mean, it's very applicable to Windows Server too. But honestly, the fact of Windows Server is they rested on their laurels a little too much, and now Windows Server's really only used for Active Directory. Like, come on now. When was the last time a sysadmin installed IIS on a server? Oh God, do you remember? Oh, I think I mentally blocked the firewall ISA server. Oh my God. That was so awful. You can remember when Microsoft used to do network security? What a joke that was. And then you had IIS on top of it. Oh, it's so nasty. They were awful at all of that stuff. And then Linux just obviously came in and took over. I remember learning all of it and doing all of that. And Exchange, like I still probably would use an on-prem Exchange server. It's still probably one of the best, but a lot of times it's just easier to pay $5 a seat or $6 a seat and farm that out. Although I've noticed the online Exchange platform really just in the past 5 years just getting worse and worse and worse. And it's only a matter of time before it just breaks. I think we're headed towards a monumental crash of like just biblical proportions in email, where almost all the traditional knowledge of Exchange and email servers has kind of gone the way of the dodo, because I don't think almost no sysadmin I've ever talked to now still does on-prem Exchange. I still know how to do it, but would I ever want to do it? No, you couldn't pay me enough money. It just sucks. So it's kind of interesting. I want to say eventually all the guys that know anything about it are probably going to retire at Microsoft. And then the people left in charge are just going to be using like AI autofill crap. And I think all email is just going to crash one day. We're going to just wake up and Microsoft Exchange, Gmail, all of it is just going to just be down. And then that's it. We're just going to lose all that email. Unless, of course, you're smart and actually do a backup. That brings us to today's sponsor, Active Backup. No. That would have been a great segue. But yeah, for real though, definitely back up your Exchange, because it really is only a matter of time. Whatever you got to do to replicate your Exchange, you should have a local copy. If for anything, just to verify, hey, it doesn't drop an email or you lose some email in the store, because there's a lot of solutions out there for that. So definitely back up. Don't trust Google. Don't trust Microsoft, because I've had them lose emails in the past and they cannot tell me what happened to those emails. So it's always best to have some kind of on-prem copy. I will die on that hill. Just pony up the money. It's not that much. If you have a business that makes over $1 million in a fiscal year, your ass should have local copies of everything. If you don't, you're doing something wrong. I will just die on that hill. I need to see the ones and zeros physically on the platter that sits in the actual building. Because if you don't have that, do you even have a business? And the answer is not if Microsoft doesn't want you to exist, or Google. And you should not put your faith in these big companies. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, let's keep streaming here on old Amazon and YouTube on Google. You know, do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, you can back up your Gmail. You can replicate all that. Hell, if you want, you can just bag it. You can use something like Spam Hero. Filter it all in and take copies of everything. I use it for like spam filtering if I'm doing like an on-prem setup. So if that server does go down, you'll still have the bagging that happens on the back end. So like your server goes down, you still get your email. It'll filter stuff for you. And it's $5 a month. Like, shoot, just pay the $5 a month. And I'm pretty sure they've never sponsored anybody, because I don't know how they're even making a profit at $5 a month. But yeah, and that's not like per user. That's like that's a whole system. And they do all the filtering for $5. Like, you can do 1 million emails through them and it's like $5. I'm like, damn, I don't know how you're making a profit, but I appreciate you existing. I remember before them, I used like MX Logics back in the day for filtering and mail bagging. I smell money laundering. What alternatives? Like every alternative you're going to hear about today from anybody is always going to be cloud-based. And I am very much an old man in this regard. I still think you should be able to do everything end to end. Now, some programmers out there, programmers, sysadmin, both, I'll speak to both, you know, professions. Some programmers don't use the actual core language. They use like an intermediary, like, you know, they actually pay like a subscription to have some kind of front end, and then they do all the back end work. I think really you should marry the two, where you should be able to do the sysadmin work and you should be able to do the programming, both one person. I think like some businesses way overcomplicate this. You'll have sysadmins, you'll have programmers, then you'll have like, you know, DevOps. And I'm like, this is all stupid. Like, it should all just be one position, in my opinion. And you should be able to do all of that and just build out what you need, because a lot of it is not that hard, I don't think. And once you learn all that, you can just build whatever you want, and it doesn't cost you any money. You can just spin up whatever you need and then go. Now, in my case, I'm come from a little bit of a privileged position, because I had a sponsor like 2019, so 6 years ago, and back when I did sponsors, and I was like, hey, yeah, you don't have to pay me any money, just for your VPS. I just wanted to showcase in the video, you know, spinning up all these servers, and could you just credit any of those VMs that I load up? And they're like, yeah, no problem, man. I'll totally do that. The guy that set that up for me, I think he died or moved on, something. But anyways, I've been running servers for 6 years and just having a great time. Best sponsor ever. He got fired. All the usage across all the colos went up. Yeah, I use a lot of servers in Los Angeles and Chicago, so that was a great sponsor though. Still use them today. I would say their name, but I don't want to be found out. Now that it's gone to 6-8 years, it's getting kind of uncomfortable to where I don't want to mention their name anymore. I'm sure. And I try not to, try not to abuse it. Like, I try not to use more than like $500 worth of usage a month. So I think my usage would not register on the radar too much. And I try to limit my storage space under a terabyte. Although when I ran the Minecraft server, it kind of got out of control. That was a little rough. but I do appreciate them. That was the best ever. That's my best sponsor story. I still use them today. Ah, they're great. What are we doing anyways? Oh, that's right. That's right. I think we were still working on. So we got that. We got this. I think we were working on. Oh yeah. So we finished the login. We're just gonna use auto login using greetd, and Hyperland's launching great. Everything feels good. Do we want to make some new themes? Let's check in with chat here. You've seen vibe coding, now imagine vibe medicine. Oh man, I'm starting to think of Idiocracy, man. I mean, you gotta laugh to keep from crying. I'm pretty sure that's where we're headed. We're yapping. We're just having a good time here. Make a waifu theme. I see. I like the little minimal section. I feel like we could do something a little more here. Yeah, everything technology. I just kind of yap. No doubt. Although, you know, some vibe coding, I think some of the Quick Shell, we vibe coded some of that until QuickFox got in the chat and was like, hey, Titus, what the hell you doing, dude? No, you just added 20 lines of code. It literally should be 3 words. Actually, no, 2 words with a couple symbols. And then he was like, just do this and then delete that entire section. And I was like, okay, that sounds better. And then I did it. I was like, oh yeah, that works a lot better. That's the problem with, I think, a lot of the vibe code is it ends up adding like 100 lines of code for something that can be accomplished in just a couple, like 2 or 3 lines, which is problematic. I could only imagine the tech debt that some companies are incurring right now because they're doing a little too much. All right, cyberpunk theme. Let's do it. I like where your head's at. Actually, let's cursor this. Speaking of. And the XP theme was pretty good, right? Yeah, cancel, close, don't save. Your PowerShell. Unable to find PowerShell. Do you have it installed? Bro, we're on Linux. All right. So let's look at Windows XP real fast. Was there anything wrong with this theme? All right, Windows XP theme. Oh, that's right. We got to change the position of the start menu. Or maybe we do a different pull-out menu there. Although we could just remove that. I don't think I like that button anyways because it just hotkey it. But for a noob, it does give them something to click on to get what they need. So I don't hate it. Anyways. So the button background color right now is dark theme. I feel like that should be like a blue, like a dark blue. So RGB, so probably like a, let's go 1-1. But here, let's change these to some 9s. Go like a dark blue. Yeah, that feels better. Could even go a little lighter. Let's go AA. Yeah, I feel like that blends. Yeah. It's a decent enough fix. And then let's go with the black theme. Let's take a look at what that looks like. All right, black theme. Oh, the black theme looks kind of nice too. Let's go button background color, button border color. What do we got? I feel like that background color is a little too harsh. Let's go. Ooh, changed it blue. Yeah, probably go a little darker. Oh, heck, let's just do ones. Make it pop. Maybe twos. Yeah, twos. Feel like that's good. Now, the button border color, that looks off too. Why does that look so crazy? Let's look at our Nordic. Do we have, there's icon color in that. I feel like there's something up with that, workspaces. Let's take a peek. Border width, button border color. Button border color should be here. Yeah, it's right there, but it's not actually showing. That's not that color. Oh, these colors are actually, I see. It's a little too much on the border color. That's why. Very cool. Let's go with a little bit of an off-white, maybe probably something like that. Yes. Oh, thank you, Michael. Oh, thank you. Oh, all right. PowerShell is so frustrating. I like PowerShell. PowerShell's not bad. At least we have something. Oh, that's hot. That's hot. Oh, my. Oh, boy. All right. I feel like I kind of recreated the Nordic theme there, didn't I? This is just black. What's Nordic look like again? Oh, yeah. No, that's different. So we got that. We got the Windows XP. All right. Let's go. What's the next one? Black Bright. All right. We can make like a drop down so people don't have to edit a text file. I feel like that's the same. Yeah, that's just the same. More of the same. Black bright, black flat. Let's try black flat and see if that's any different. I don't think it is, though. Oh, yeah, no, that's a flat theme. I like that actually. Let's pimp that out. All right. I like that flat theme actually. It looks pretty nice. Yeah, the Windows XP theme is totally outdated. No one should ever use it. However, if that's what brings you back, you know, puts a smile on your face when you boot up your computer in the morning, you do you. You know what I'm saying? If it gives you memories of simpler times, I say, hey, that's awesome. Now we need to do cyberpunk theme, huh? All right, AI, time to shine. Make cyberpunk theme. Cover your eyes. I mean, that's not bad. All right, we just got to fix a few things. Oh, wow, it just changed everything. All right, let's go. Yeah. Seems a bit much. No. I think Quick Shell's way better than Waybar. I'm sold. I'm never going back to Waybar. This thing is just amazing. Think Neon Japan. Just make sure it's not changing anything else. You never know. Sometimes it can go off the reservation. There we go. I don't know. What do we think? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of examples for Waybar, so I'm like, if you're trying to do this for the first time, probably Waybar is what you want to go with. But I wanted to set up something for people just coming in and that don't like Waybar, and kind of have like just a no nonsense, hey, here's a sample bar with basic functionality, go. And this would give people enough to where they're like, ooh, I like that. Lose top frame line. Okay. Let's see. That's solid. Any other feedback? I'm not a big cyberpunk kind of theme guy, so I'm relying on you guys to tell me what to do. Oh, Ghost of Tsushima. I've heard great things about that game. Never played it, though. I feel like there should be like another theme here. So we got Cyberpunk, we got Windows XP, we got like a flat black, we got my favorite, Nordic. Is there any other like big popular themes we kind of want to do? I feel like that's fine for Cyberpunk. It gives someone to work off of at least. Solarized Dark. Oh yeah, and then we got Capuchin too. Oh, we got the material UI too. So we got probably Capuchin. Material UI would be great. New theme with material UI colors. Boom. Let's go. That seems wrong. That looks like an awful lot of blue. We'll go ahead and do it, but I don't think that's it. That's ugly as hell. Yeah, it's too bright. It's like, ah. Okay, here we go. That's a little better. There's a more material style theme. So anything we want to change there? It's still probably a little dark, but it's kind of the material vibe. Kind of splitting hairs between some of our other themes, but yeah, it looks good. Need a Matrix theme? Nobody likes Matrix themes. Like, everyone puts Matrix themes on for like just a little bit. Okay. Next up, Capuchin. All right, next up is gonna be make a Capuchin. Capuchin theme. I think I spelled Capuchin wrong. Oh, 2 P's. AI. Hey, we're vibing. We're vibing together. Me and AI are vibing here. We're good. Yeah. All right, we should have the mocha palette. Watch it look like Nord. No, actually, that's more capuchin. It's got like that purplish tint. That looks good. Cat Poochin. Would be great if it adapts for wallpaper colors. I mean, we could do that too. Yeah, we already kind of got a good flat black and regular black theme. We could go with a red theme. That's kind of harsh though. I feel like that's pretty niche. I think we got material, capuchin, cyberpunk, Nordic, black flat, black, Windows XP. That should cover the bases with most theming, right? Yeah, dark red and light purple is kind of a super, like, they're going to want to change that. Nobody's going to really want to use that. And the person that does want to use that, frankly, will end up just editing the file here anyways. I just kind of wanted to get like a variety of different enough kind of themes. I don't want to make like 100 themes. I just kind of want to like, here's the big ones. This is kind of all the examples here, and you can see from each example to the next go, oh, okay, so this value definitely is this. And then that way people can kind of make their own. The idea here is to give enough examples to where a person can grab it and go, cool, I'm going to make this my own now. And that's really what I'm trying to achieve with that. So I think theming wise, we're good. Moving on. What is the next one? What is the next thing we add? Sound, probably? I don't see sound on here. Why don't I see sound in the bar? Is colors ever being referenced anywhere? I don't think so. Let's delete that. What about resources? I don't think that's being referenced either. Let's consolidate some of this. Yeah, so resources, I think we can kill this one too. Let's see, what would add? Well, YouTube probably would, right? ESPN. There we go. So like, what can eat up some resources like Chrome can? All right. So that's fine. We got our Hyperland utils that's called for our workspaces. We have our time, our test, our sys tray. All right. Icon. We might change this eventually to be like a menu drop down. That would be kind of cool. What's our tray look like? Let's launch Steam. Yeah, RAM percentage is actually already on the bar. Aren't you tired? What's the end of this? Ahmed. What's the end of this? What's the end of this? Okay, I think we need to have a talk. There is no end. This is Linux. You never finish. Ever. Guess what? I'm going to change this. I'm going to get it perfect. And then I'm going to go, it could be better. There is no end. Ever. We're here. enjoy the journey. If you don't like doing this, don't ever start. Like, same thing. It's like, there isn't an end. I've been doing this shit for 7 years now. Feels like just yesterday I started. It's always close, but never finishes. It's just how it is in Linux. Like, once you start, you're just never gonna be satisfied. But damn, this is actually really good though. Like, for real. Like, where is that Steam? Oh wait, we might have a bug. Where's my Steam? Steam's gone. What are we gonna do? We don't have any Steam. Did you try some NeoVim rising? Oh yeah. Actually, my NeoVim's pretty tight. I like my NeoVim setup. So this is my NeoVim. It kind of gives me like, hey, what have I been working on here? What can I change? What can I do? I got my fuzzy finding that I can do. If I want to go into like the files, I can go here, say, hey, pull up, you know, .config. Well, actually, where is my config folder? Can we go .config? I do need to get better with my file explanations, but honestly, my NeoVim's pretty happy. I've actually haven't messed with this too much in the past year, so my NeoVim's okay. But I'm more use it from a system admin point of view than from a programming point of view. If I was better at programming, I think I would use NeoVim a lot more. We got to fix this though. Steam is not working. So let's go Hyperland. We have Steam. Oh, we don't. All right, we got to make a window rule for Steam. Window rule. What if we just do Steam? And then go library. Where'd it go? Window rule, Hyperland, Steam. Okay, let's read. How are we getting the window stuff? Because you can't use xprop. What were we doing for window class and stuff for Wayland? Does it say? Oh, we can assign it workspaces too. I like that. Float, maximize. What browser? I don't want to tell you. I'm ashamed. Absolutely ashamed. Add tag to current window. Interesting. That's cool. You can add tags to certain classes of Windows. I think we'll put Steam and workspace 6 actually. But first we need to verify the class version of Steam is actually Steam. Determine window class. Determine window classes Hyperland. Ah, okay. So you can just do hyperctl. Cool. Nice. There's a built-in command in Hyperland. Sweet. All right. So we got Alacrity. We've got Chrome. We've got Alacrity. We've got Cursor. Steam. 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 There we go. Class. Initial class. Steam. Nice. So that's neat. So I think what we'll do is go class maximize, comma, workspace 6. So we'll quit this out, right? What's on 5? Oh yeah, that was just Alacrity. So let's exit Steam. We're going to relaunch Steam, and then in a perfect world, this is going to open up on Workspace 6 maximized. So we'll go Steam. And then there's still a lag here. We probably should launch Steam regular on the terminal and see what kind of errors we're running into. Because it shouldn't take 10 seconds, 15 seconds. What are we at? To launch Steam. Okay, that didn't put it on Workspace 6 though. It did maximize it though. So yeah, it should have, but hey, Workspace 6, boom, over here. But it did not. Did I misspell Workspace 6? Let's look at the documentation. Workspace, workspace, workspace. Windows on matching workspace. Workspace. Set the workspace on which the window should open for syntax. See dispatcher's workspaces. You may also set the bracketed W to unset, and it will do that. Okay, so given that, is there any other examples? Override. Workspace rules. Okay, so given this, let's change that to leave dispatchers. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm doing it through a workspace rules where it should be the bind. Well, I feel like the rule should do that as well. It's cool that you could do the exec, say workspace 2, float, move, whatever. I like that idea, but I want this as more of a window rule. Let's say workspace rules. Let's see what this gives us as well. Workspace 3. These are just general rules. Wait, no. Look at this rule down here. Workspace 5, on created empty float Firefox. Oh, so you can actually make to where you go to the workspace, it goes ahead and triggers the actual launch of the application. That's pretty legit. Not what I wanted, but neat that you could do that. Yeah. What are we thinking? One dude, thanks for the prime. 11 months. All right, brother. Going well. Do you have a working guide to setting up NeoVim for JS specifically? Yeah, no, not so much, Maniac. Not much for JavaScript. I haven't, I don't really have a good programming workflow for my NeoVim. A lot of my NeoVim is just, hey, I only want to edit 1 or 2 files, but when it comes to big projects,
yeah, well,
a lot of times I don't. So
the dude abides.
Vlad, thanks for the gift to sub, man. Okay. You know what? Now I'm sitting here. Let's ask AI. It's my fallback. It's like my comfort. One of these days, I'm just gonna be so impressed. It's gonna make it. It's gonna be perfect. Just kidding. That's never gonna happen. Although, I'm saying for with class themes, it actually doesn't do that bad of a job. Kind of get you most of the way there. This isn't opening up Steam on Workspace 6. Opening. What? I've added workspace equals 6 class. Would that work? Is there a workspace already somewhere in here? I do not see that. I feel like that's not right. I mean, let's give it a whirl. It's probably ingested enough configs from that to work. Let's try. Okay, so here's Steam on 6. Exit. Okay. I think it might be hallucinating 2 Rux. Let's see. We're gonna launch Steam. Again, let's try and fix this long-ass launch that Steam's going through. I feel like something's amiss with our Steam launch. But it's neither here or there. I think we just leave it be for now. And we'll take a peek here after it finally launches. Just chat. I think I'm going to totally steal that from you. AI feels a lot like Linux. It feels just about complete, but never quite gets there. I think that's a fair statement. So that looks like it worked, but we see no Steam. Steam did not launch. It did not look like the correct syntax, nor was it the correct syntax. That shit just didn't work as I thought. It just vibe coded the crap out of that, as AI does. Hallucinated through it. Anyways, if we look at workspace rules, I do think that's a good compromise here. So do workspace on created empty, command to be executed once those is created. So C command syntax. Yeah. So for Steam, Super Esta. Okay. Let's do on something. When I eventually move back to DWM, hey, I might stay. I might stay on Hyperland. This feels like the best experience so far. The other 5 times I've tried it, I usually have run into more problems. See, I think if it was me, I think it's like more of like a workspace 6 situation like that. But no, it doesn't like that. Let's go here. Let's design that. Looking at this, I think what we'll do is a workspace rule. What's this on workspace function? Let's look at that. So I feel like that would be good. Yeah, I tried DWL. It was pretty rough. It was really rough. DWL, I think we'll eventually get there. I definitely will try it again. I'm gonna keep trying DWL every 6 months or so. But yeah, this last go, DWL is just one. If you have an NVIDIA card, you're just gonna get like broken pipes left and right, and it's just gonna be an awful experience. At least that was my experience. AMD, maybe if you're a full AMD system, maybe it could work. But yeah, it was it was bad. It was really bad. Workspace 6 Steam. Just try window rule workspace 6 Steam. Oh, okay. We could try that. I don't think that's quite the right syntax. Workspace 6 Steam. Okay. Okay, I liked that. So if we go to workspace 6, does it launch Steam? Is the next question. Because technically on empty, it would grab and launch Steam from that, but usually it does take a long. It did. There it goes. That did work. So we made it to where if you go to workspace 6, it auto launches Steam. Hot dog. That's neat. So anytime I want Steam, I'll just go workspace 6 and then launch it. So then we can assign Lutris to workspace 7 as well. So Steam on 6, Lutris on 7. And why I choose those is because if I'm gaming, I'm not going to be going too crazy with the keyboard, and I want those kind of pushed out to the other workspaces. Takes way too much time, though. I agree, Vlad. Agreed. Let's see what's going on with that. So again, let's go here. We're just going to type Steam. What is happening? Using supervisor, Steam runtime supervisor. Okay. Steam runtime sniper. Container startup will be faster if missing locales are created at OS level. Okay, I think I got it. Let's exit. So, let's see here. Container startup will be missing if locales are created at OS level. I've seen this error pop up a bunch. Let's Google it. Steam is taking a long time to launch. I keep seeing this error. Explain why and any possible remedies. Let me explain this Steam-related issue and provide a solution. The error you're getting is the Steam containerized system pressure vessel, which is used to run games in a controlled environment. The warning indicates some locale files that Steam needs are missing from your system, which will slow down the container startup process. This is a common issue on Linux systems, especially on certain locale packages aren't installed. The solution is to generate the missing locales on the system. I'll help you do this by running this command. It's going to generate EN US UTF-8 and then EN Great Britain UTF-8 and then running sudo update locale. That's cool. Now, we could run that in the actual system, but I want to go outside of it and give it a whirl. So from here, see what that does. Update locale. I didn't think that was right. Yeah, so we don't have an update locale option. Cal. Let's go A. So we only have C UTF. It did not generate those for the other. So for the locale generation, it did not accept these options. So what we'll do is copy those. Sudo vim. It explained the problem properly, which is good. It just didn't quite give us exactly what we need. So let's go through. And what we'll do, let's grab Great Britain. Let's grab US. EN US. All right. That looks good to me. We're just uncommenting a couple common ones. If you have other locales that you constantly see on your system, you probably want to uncomment those too. So then from there, we should be able to locale gen. And then it should generate those locales. And then when we go sudo locale A, we now see we do have Great Britain and US in here. So that's the way I know how to do it. And this is how you verify. Now you might be thinking, what are these other locales like C and that's collation. So if you don't have those, one other issue that you might have, let's say you open up your file manager and you're noticing, oh crap, I'm only seeing alphabetization from caps first, and then all of a sudden all my lowercase ones are below that. Very common issue. That's also related to your locale. You probably don't have a collation happening, which is the C. Just Linux things. So now that we've done that, let's come back into here. We're going to close this out, and we're going to relaunch Steam and see what this looks like now. So we'll go Steam. And we'll see what we get. And I'm going to look for other warnings in here as well, as there's probably something else. It still is taking a very long time to launch. And that might be using, I think, the Steam runtime sniper or whatever that is. I feel like there's probably a better way of doing this. Damn, that is taking forever. So I see a couple other errors there. I think it actually was faster this time. Still slow as balls, though. So let's see what we have for errors. We do not have this error. We don't have that directory. So what we'll do is just do make directory -p for the path. And then just give it that directory. Now, don't use sudo when making this directory because it's in the home folder and we're running Steam as a user. So if you do that as sudo, it's going to make it under root. And Steam will have write privileges to it, which would be very, very bad. Now, what other errors we see in here? There's that parent directory again. Prefix has an invalid version. So there's a bad prefix under Steam locale compat dad's 0. So there's another error. So let's just do an RM. Boom, trashed it. Now, this RM command is actually an alias to trash-CLI. If you don't have that alias and you're not using trash.cli, you will need to do an rm space -rf for recursive and force, and then space the directory name. So that's one more error to fix. And done. Anything else in here? Error code 0 here. Initializing breakpad exceptional handler for app ID Steam sysinfo GPU topology. I don't know what this is, but that's not good. Next up. So what I'm going to do is just try and clean up as much as I can of this. And then once I've cleaned up everything I can, I'll probably feed it through AI and say, hey, what are the optimizations so I can fastly launch Steam and see what it comes up with. Now, it's going to offer some stupid, absolutely idiotic solutions. But there might be some nuggets among the poo that it spits out. So that's why we do that. All right. Gravy. Here we go. So this time around, Steam. Like 17, 18 seconds. Ugh. It's gross. All right. Let's check our logs, see if anything stands out to us. Yeah, Steam is slow in general. I agree. I think we fixed most of the things I can find out of this. There's still a couple things. I feel like we could fix this. It can get faster than this. There's something else holding this back. So what I'm going to do... grab all this. I'm not going to grab the shutdown command because that's when I actually exited Steam. So we'll go there. Boom. Let's go new. Steam is taking a long time to launch. Here is the startup log. Let's see what it comes up with. There's a Proton prefix update happening. There is also some GTK theme that could be affecting the UI. I actually already removed this. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Well, I thought we removed that though. Like if we look back, home, local, share, Steam. Home, local, share, Steam. Steam apps, compat data, 0. That's not right. So this wouldn't fix it. But it's trying to update prefix from 9.0. I got an idea. Let's launch Steam again. Let's first see what we're using for the default compatibility. And then we'll go from there. Just Steam. It's just Steam. I mean, it's not necessarily like a huge problem. It is running faster since we fixed a few of the settings. So let's go compatibility. Proton experimental. So that's fine. There we go. So there's all these other ones. I think what we do is go in and clear out old Proton stuff that's there. Could also be something with the new family view because I have like my son and wife uses my Proton. So that could also do it too. So let's go Proton up QT. Okay. And what we're going to do, can we delete these? Oop. All right. Oh, that I went there, forgot. All right, let's go remove. Remove. Ooh, I actually used those. Let's remove this. Oh, nope. See, these I do use, but they're done in Lutris. Although, if they're done in Lutris, then I don't think we really need them here. Because Lutris should copy the runners to their own. Before we dive into that, let's launch Lutris. Because I really wanted to look at this. So this is using H26. Where's it grabbing that from? No, that's Wine GE. That's not even Proton GE. So yeah, that's not Proton GE. We can wipe that out. So we're going to clean these up. Right? Close that out. Relaunch. Let's go into .local. Sorry, .local. Share. Steam. Compat. Now, we have a broken UMU link. Whenever you see a broken link like that, I think you should just remove it. So I think probably that broken link was what was doing it. Let's come back into our CD. Clear that out. Steam. How long have you been a software professional? I am not a software professional. Ooh, that was too fast. Okay, that didn't exit. I was like, that just launched up immediately. I am very much just having fun. That's what I do here. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got something else. We're going to have to relaunch after this. What is happening? I had an update. All right. See if I see anything on the scrolling text here, but... Man, I think this just might be Steam in general. Some jankiness going on here. I think it is better, and it definitely feels better. So, let's go Steam again. And it should be up. I think it's just the jank of Steam. You do know above the time flag, right? No, I do not know. Please enlighten me, Tech Zero, of the time flag. What do we got? Oh, shit. Oh, yes, time. I'm sorry. Yeah. Time, Steam. Yeah. I forgot about it. That would be better. All right, we're going to do it. I think I timed it around like 17 seconds. So time, Steam. But I think the time flag is... As soon as it launches up, I have to exit right away because it's when the process is killed after the initial run. Otherwise, the time flag, I don't think, works. So I just got to be very... Ah! Shoot. Exit. Yeah. That was probably a bad metric. Although the system flag should be fine, right? Maybe. Flat pack Steam? I hate flat pack Steam, man. I'd rather wait 17 seconds for Steam to launch up. Let's try that one more time. I'm just going to exit as soon as it launches. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan. I'm glad flat packs exist, though. It's just not my jam. Also, I feel like the Steam runtime sniper type deal, I feel like there's something up with that. Yeah, none of that really worked. Flat packs just are slower. Because what flat packs do is all the dependencies that program relies upon are built into the flat pack. So I'm appreciative that they exist in that manner. It's just, I don't particularly like that. I just want them on my system. Those dependencies I feel like should belong to my system. And then it's up to me to properly configure them. However, I'm glad they exist because there's a lot of times where that might not be a possibility, such as like Steam Deck and stuff like that. Well, app images are the same thing for the most part. I think flat packs probably are. I like flat packs probably a little better than app images just because they have an update feature that's pretty convenient. But essentially, they're pretty much the same thing. And flat packs are pretty snappy nowadays. Agreed. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could do here. Let's look at Steam packages. All right. So there's GameScope, Steam native runtime. This is the unified launcher for Windows games on Linux to run Proton with fixes outside of Steam. What about this Steam native runtime? I feel like that's... Let's install that. I feel like there's some shenanigans going on here. Shenanigans. Now, we really haven't even started the scripting yet, Tom. We will. We will start it, but I haven't quite got there. I want something very, very tight and clean, and then share it from there. So far, it's getting there, though. So let's say we do Steam native. Now that we have Steam native, how long does it launch? Does it take 17 seconds to launch? I should have done the time command. I don't notice much of a difference there. Between the Steam and Steam native. Alright, let's do a time command on that. Time, Steam native. And then we'll exit. And then we'll do a time Steam, exit, and see what the differences are, if there is any. It feels like there's something else happening here. I feel like there's like a bad Proton or something that's just kind of like stuck. Yay is written in Go and Paru is written in Rust. That's pretty much the only differences that I see. Yeah. So let's exit. Okay, real time 46, user 31, sys 23. Time, Steam. It's probably gonna be something like that. Something like the same. What if I just delete the entire compat data folder? Splitting hairs here. It's still the same. So we're still running the same problem. I think it's something with that Proton 9.4 to 9.7 and it's trying to update it on launch. So let's first uh-oh. Yeah, I know, QCF. I agree with you. So let's first go to install locally. I'm going to go through each one of these and see what we're using for the compatibility. So nothing here. Okay. Borderlands 3. Nothing here. Cyberpunk. GE 9.4. Let's get rid of that. Elden Ring. Nothing there. Oblivion. I want to say this is 927. Yeah, 927's fine. That's the most recent. EverQuest 2. Uninstall. Properties, compatibility, 9.4 for that one. Let's close that out. Let's uninstall that. Helldivers 2. Proton Experimental. I think we're going to actually uncheck that. Path of Exile. All these older games, I don't need to force a compatibility tool because they're probably Steam's defaults would probably be best. They'd probably be like, hey, this version works better, and it's probably best not to override that. So that's good. So now that we've done that, I'm going to exit Steam one last time, and then I'm going to go through, and we're just going to blow out all of compat data. Just do a mass delete. So we're going to go, actually, let's go .local. We're going to go share. Steam, we're going to go a little different this time. From Steam, we should see Steam apps, compat data. So we have all these compat data folders, the different games installed, everything. We're just going to delete everything. So that blows out all of compat data. Nothing's there. So back in here, we're going to just launch Steam from here, not the CLI or anything. And just, it'll probably need to rebuild. We'll quit out after the rebuild and see if that nets us anything. So the tray icon shows up, and then it takes a while to launch that UI. So maybe it isn't compat data that's the problem. It could be just strictly a issue with the UI theme that we're seeing. That Nordic GTK 2.0 theme not just not having the files there could also play a factor. Well, it's something I think with my config is why we're kind of troubleshooting this. Yeah, I think it's the Nordic GTK errors is what I'm referencing. So let's see what we have here. That's fine. Clear all that out. There's nothing downloading. This looks fine. I'll leave a Path of Exile there. This, oh, it's still finalizing. Still finalizing, huh? So let's troubleshoot that GTK 2.0 error. Really? So this says it will change. So for environmental variables, it's pointing those GTK2 RC files to... I like that, actually. That seems like a more elegant solution, because the Nordic theme obviously doesn't have the GTK2 themes, because GTK2 is, like, ancient. So anything that needs to reference it, that should be there. Cool. I like that. Now, let's just make sure it didn't hallucinate this existence. Don't just trust. Verify. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, that's no such directory. That's what I thought. No such directory. Yeah. All right. It's close. I like the idea. So, it's a good solution. It just doesn't know what the solution, how to fix what's installed in the system. It's just kind of guessing. And this GK3 dark, it's just gonna have 3 and 4. Yeah, I think that would work just fine. Let's verify that structure. I think this structure's fine, because you got GTK3, GTK4 here. And let's just go into Nordic real fast. Okay. Yeah. GTK2 is actually in Nordic right there. Oh, hey. Nordic thing got 2.0s? Yeah. All right. We don't even need to download any of that. Nordic comes with it. Nordic. Yeah. So then you got your GTK2 RC files right there. Boom. Yep. There we go. So that should be good. Let's close that out. Fallout 76 crashed. That's funny. All right, and then you quit. There's that. I'm just gonna reboot just so we have a nice clean starting spot. Does UAC in Windows make sense? Is it worth having enabled? Yeah, Mr. Hardy. I mean, UAC is annoying as it is. does serve a purpose. So think of Linux and the sudo command. You know, that elevation has to happen one way or another. Well, in Windows, specifically Windows XP Service Pack 2 era, it didn't. It didn't even use UAC. It didn't have it. It just, everything's self-elevated. So essentially everything ran as sudo or administrator on the system. And as you can imagine, security nightmare. Everybody got infected. PC repair shops back in the early 2000s were just money printers because everybody with a computer got infected. So UAC was created with XP Service Pack 3, I want to say. Really put into implementation. I want to say Vista was the very first time, and it was super annoying because it just was like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you really sure you want to do this? Kind of thing. So Vista was like the first like huge rollout of it that everyone kind of just got wrapped up in UAC. And then yeah, I'd leave it. I hate dealing with it. A lot of times I do drag it to like just never notify because I don't run anything crazy on my Windows system. But for regular users, I wouldn't disable it just because regular users do stupid regular user things, and that's just goes with the territory. Yeah, and honestly, Vista, at the end with Vista, the service packs, it was not a bad operating system. The last version of Vista, I think it was SP2. It might have gone to SP3 as well. I can't remember. But it was actually a very solid OS once everything got worked out. But the problem was, one, everything was 32-bit OS when Vista launched. Vista was the first 64-bit OS. So that meant a lot of the applications just didn't install, didn't run. There was a massive difference between a 64-bit and 32-bit. There's a lot of confusion between 64-bit and 32-bit apps. And it caused all kinds of compatibility issues. On top of that, Vista was about 3 times heavier than XP. So, I mean, just from a processor count, hell, XP could run off of 7 processes, where Vista, shoot, it was at minimum of about 30. And then you had a whole bunch of really bad decisions from a configuration standpoint, such as desktop widgets and other things that were kind of hungry and took up a lot of space. So you could configure, if you had a good system and you configured Vista properly, it was actually a really nice operating system. However, that was just not the case. A lot of times the software was going through a massive transition during that time. The old hardware just ran like a dog on Vista because it was so used to only needing like 2 gigs of RAM. And now all of a sudden it needs 4 or 6 or 8, you know, a lot of times with Vista. So it just depended on, a lot of people had really negative experiences with it because of those things I just mentioned. But it was actually not a bad operating system. And honestly, 7 and Service Pack 2 of Vista, shoot, it didn't really matter. It was fine. Like the difference between 7 and Vista at the end, menial. Very, very minor from what I saw. Let's see. So now we've done that. Let's go to Workspace 6 and see what Steam looks like now. Yeah, it's still taking forever. I think we just call this one in, accept the L. And just be like, hey, if I'm going to launch Steam, it's going to take 15, 20, 30 seconds to launch. Lame. I guess we could try the flat pack. What do we think? Yeah. Felt like we got through most of that. I'll go ahead and launch it through CLI just to see. Just to see it. Oh, can't wake up today. Oh, that was actually faster. All right, let's see. Proton. Why does it keep wanting to go to GE Proton 9? So there was, I think the Nordic GTK2 actually has some errors in it. Right there. But I don't think that's the main issue. I think the main issue is this. This compat 0 always is defaulting to GE97. Why? I don't even use Google anymore. I'm just like, hey, show me some results, AI. Whatever project's open, I'm just like, whatever. Let's see what we got. Yeah, it shouldn't. That didn't make much sense, but maybe it'll figure that out. And the error should be resolved. It's not. It keeps defaulting to GE Proton. Was it 7? What did I say? 9.7. 9-7. Okay. So this is going to remove all of compat 0, all the common Linux runtime, all of Proton in a common, and then also remove the config.vf. Okay, sure. No React login. I wonder what that's about. I'm going to run that from the CLI. Just stop that. And what we're going to do is come on over here, close this, launch, and just go Steam no React login. Let's see what happens. Yeah, this is just a Hyperland. Hyperland using Quick Shell. Okay. So now let's just go Steam. Launch it. I did not see that Proton error this time around. So hopefully this time it won't give us that BS Proton 9-7 error. I think I was probably tinkering and had like that old GE Proton somewhere in the config. blowing all that out should hopefully net us a better result. Nice. Okay. 1 second. I remember when I forgot to screen block my thing. Somebody signed in. I was like, really? Come on. Pretty funny, though. All right. There we go. We are signed in. And see how this goes. Now, this should update everything. We're going to leave everything at stock defaults. I'm going to quit out and then just see what it is. I think it's a bad config that was causing this long, laggy bit. If not, then it has to be the other way. So let's go exit. We're going to quit, close this. And now let's go time Steam and see what we get. What do we think? Oh, well, it wouldn't be the first time I doxed myself. Probably not the last. That seemed a lot faster, did it not? That seemed much faster. That was a lot faster. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Maybe it's in my head. All the errors have now been solved, though. You count too fast. This is true. Yeah, so the sys and the user time, these have gone down drastically. So these used to be like 22 and 30 respectively. So I think it's a lot better. And I'm not seeing that Proton upgrade error anymore. So if you ever do, like if you're on Linux and you're like, oh, this is taking a long time to load or whatever, the beauty of this is you can just feed it into terminal and look for things in here that is giving errors. So there's still a few things we could work on. Like, does it still give those GTK2 errors? It does. So these still are problems. So what we could do, let's just fix these really fast and see what happens. Right? Let's close this. We're going to close all these files. Just close all. Let's open up a new folder. And for this one, we're going to actually run cursor as sudo cursor. Oh, cursor's not even found. All right, well, let's just run cursor regular. Oh, we don't have a poll kit, do we? 1 second. We've got one more configuration issue to solve. So we do have poll kit launch execute once hyper poll kit agent, but I don't think that's working. Well, maybe it is. One way to solve. G parted. G parted. It did not launch. So yes, Elevation is not working with the hyper poll kit. So that was actually configured incorrectly. Let's fix that. So let's look up hyper pole kit. Agent? Okay. See? I'm doing it incorrectly. And that's why we read. So that's what it should look like for Hyperpole Kit. Close that. Kill Hyper. Relaunch. Now, if we go G parted. Nice. Authenticate. And now we actually have elevation when we're using a pole kit. Yay! And now we can do cursor. And if it does need to elevate, it actually can elevate. It'll prompt us to elevate, but... All right, can we remember where that was at? User. Was it share? I think it was source, actually. No, it was share. Themes. Nordic. Open. All right. Then let's launch Steam. Actually, let's launch it here. Get those errors. uBlock Origin is if you have the original uBlock Origin done, but if you're using Chrome, I don't think you can load it anymore. Okay, that was way faster, by the way. That was considerably faster. It's almost fixed all the way, but I want to fix that one last warning. So right here, we're going to grab that, feed it into here. Let's see what this does. So there was a formatting error with main.rc. It's going to try and apply, probably fail. Yeah, okay. Oh my God. Am I going to have to do this over and over? Is that the same one? It's on Chrome. Yeah, I think that's the same one, actually. I think it just keeps... No, that's actually different. Dang it. Just save it there. Anyways, let's close that. For the Chrome, the error is about the invalid string constant button. Let me fix that. Huh. Okay. Those are all just comments. Like it doesn't matter at all. Sure, fix the comments. I don't care. This is probably what did it, though. All right, sure. I don't think this actually elevates properly. Kill my system AI. It's not going to work. Anyways, let's just save this as home. Save. Okay. So we got Chrome, RC. What changes were made here? Most of that. Yes, there's a spacing issue there. With the style, there's a giant gap. So a couple little things. There's actually probably 4 or 5 lines. So these are actually legitimate errors, which AI is actually pretty decent. Well, I don't want to jinx myself, but it should be pretty decent at actually solving this error. So we're going to take main.rc, chrome.rc, cut that. Then we're just going to go directly to the source, USR, share, and was it themes? Themes? And Nordic. All right. And then if we go into our GTK theme, we have this one. Let's paste. And we can't paste that. Pseudo Thunar. Just pseudo Thunar that. Oh, no, you can't. Wait, you should be able to. No. Pseudo won't launch as the display. I was going to do it through the GUI so you guys can see. Sorry about you. Anyways, let's just move them. Permission. Oh, no. Yes. Okay. So then instead of that, we'll do Chrome. Yes. Perfect. And then let's just get over into that directory. And I think it's under apps. Yeah. So let's move Chrome to apps. Yes. Move that. All right, so then we have this. Looks pretty good, except we need to make execute privileges. So we're gonna go sudo and chmod, add the execute privilege to main. Great. Let's go into apps. You'll see Chrome. See how the difference in how Chrome's not highlighted and the other ones are? Same thing. Chmod, execute Chrome. Gravy. So hopefully that fixes it. So now we have that. Perfect. And we're just going to go Steam. And now let's see if these still error out. I want to say it should hopefully fix that. Those few GTK errors. I don't really think they did anything. And I don't think it really GTK 2's used very much these days. But hell. We're here. We might as well. Yeah, you could do 755 too. That would work as well. All right. Now, if we go here, quit. And moment of truth. Looking through our log file. Still there. All right. AI did not fix it. We are forced to fix it ourselves, as usual. Usually it's pretty good at that. That's okay. That's all right. We're not completely worthless. We can do this. It's just so much easier if someone else fixes it for you. All right, so then we're at line 729, invalid thing for direction. So let's go 729 and 729. Direction, LTR. Direction, expected identifier direction, expected character is a bracket. What's happening here? Directions maybe not even needed is my impression here. Maybe we just remove the direction all the way around. Direction LTR, I just don't think that's valid. I think we just get rid of it. Like that. Because the expected character is a closing bracket. That would tell me it's like, hey, I don't know what to do with this extra thing. And the one above it, it doesn't even have it. So I'm thinking these were added for some reason. And if we look at that, we take that same principle. Well, let's make it all uniform. Now these are different. So I don't see anything wrong with it. So I'm kind of curious to see what that looks like. Just checking. Spot checking. Okay. Let's close that out. Now, what I want to try here, same thing. So we're going to still see at least 2 errors, but hopefully that would resolve that one error, and then we can just kind of look at the other ones and see what happens. Yeah, maybe no directions needed. That's what I'm thinking. Should back that file up. Probably. GTK2, I really don't care though. I've broken my theme so many times, I'm just like, meh. It's not worth the backup. 916 now. That's a different error. So let's go 916. Sure enough. Direction. Direction. Interesting. So I think they just added direction in a bunch of spots. Someone probably updated it at some point in time and was like, oh, hey, this is valid. And then they got pushed out into the production, and then nobody ever really uses GTK2. So they're like, hey, screw it. Let's just go. Yeah, okay. Now, we could do a substitute, but I don't necessarily like doing a global substitute for something like this. I mean, you could. I don't know if I'd recommend it, though. I feel like this is probably going to break something. But deleting a lot of lines. We're 88% of the way there. Wait. Okay. Yeah. Like arrow direction. That's a different one. That's a different one. Don't delete that one, Chris. All right. We're good. Direction has now been killed. Let's see what that does. The art of how to break and then fix. Yeah, I think just the Nordic GTK2 main.rc file is probably just a little bit broken. Now you could do like a percent substitute, find the line using like a regex, and then just delete it. So you'd save like maybe 60 seconds if you really know the syntax there. Maybe 2 minutes. That's feeling better though. So now that that's done, now let's look for those errors again. Show me errors. All right. Where are those errors? Where's the errors? I'm blind. They're here. I'm sure we have errors. Where's theirs? No. There's errors. I've never actually had this work. I was mainly meaning to break this, so. We never did fix the other one, so. Well, shit. I guess that worked. I'll be darned. No errors. Nice. Well, anyways, that's like troubleshooting like something running. At the end of the day, Steam does run a lot faster now. So when we go to Workspace 6, Steam will auto-launch. And then I worked through all the errors I could. Like it was trying to update some Proton I saw through the CLI. It was also doing some like GTK2 errors. But I mean, the thing about Linux is a lot of times things can kind of work, but still have a whole bunch of warnings and errors on the back end. And that's why I think it's good on the when you really want it to run really, really well. I think you keep looking through those lines in your log. And then when you see those warnings, you see those errors, you kind of work through them to get them all done. It probably launches a little faster now, but I know I'm going to run into a lot less errors when running programs. Like what we fixed today with like GTK2 or those types of things. Well, there's going to be times where like maybe I have Lutris open and I go to launch a game. Instead of it running into an error, it's now going to go past it. So like fixing some of these system-based errors globally will fix other applications that might not have, like Steam is just has so much error correction built into it that when it has these errors, it's like, okay, that crap doesn't work. Let's go to failback 1. No, that didn't work. Failback 2, failback 3, failback 4. So Steam codes all this into their program where a lot of other games, maybe a game that launches directly doesn't. And then it just crashes. And you're like, well, crap, it crashed. What happened? And instead of getting like some error code like you normally would, you just get black screen or just a complete crash. So that's why like you would launch Steam from terminal or whatever program you're doing from terminal. It really helps not only that program, but once you fix some of those issues, especially like locale generation like we did today, that's going to help everything on the system work better. That's going to help everything display better. And that's why I kind of do it. One, just to have a really nice clean system set up. It'll probably use less resources too. So, you know. Yeah, like I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Did we do our commit? Speaking of dot files, if you ever do want to grab anything from the quick shell, let's go quick shell. Get status. Oh yeah, we did update quite a bit today. So we got rid of some bloat. Update from, what is it, 5.6 stream. So this is going to be the 5.6 update. I'm just going to start labeling 5.6 stream. So if anybody watches these streams, they'll be like, oh, okay, this was this update that did this. And we could actually reference back to what I was doing. This one was a little bit of a scatterbrained stream. I'm sorry. But I'm trying to get back to streaming and putting them in at a good hour. So yeah, I use the default GNOME DE. Tom Ed says. Here, let me put it up on the stream. Ow. Oh, I need to fix that land mouse. I keep forgetting. 1 second. Yeah, I use the default Chrome DE with no extensions, and it works great for me. Yeah, and I think that's another thing. I think I watched a video from Theo, and he had a really good explanation of how to set up a good functional workspace for work. And his idea was pick something that has good defaults. Because if it's something has good defaults that work for you, that's something you never have to configure. You don't have to spend hours like getting exactly perfect. And if you're trying to get as much done as quickly as possible, having programs with really good defaults are amazing that don't need to be configured. Sounds a little boring. Oh, and I don't like it, but he's probably got a point, you know? Oh, I think it was like a couple months back when I watched that. It was a good point though. Like if you do have something like, if let's say you like i3's defaults and you don't have to configure anything, well, you just install i3 and you're already going. It takes you 5 minutes and bam, off to the races you go. That's kind of my idea, is to push back a little bit on this idea. Is you can have something, I'm going to set this up to where it's more universal, and then make a script to where it gets pushed out with like the Lin utility, the Linux utility, and then you just hit install, and then all these defaults, all this time and hours I spent configuring and getting everything exactly how it should be, will just be at your fingertips, and then you just go, oh yeah, I want this theme that Titus was messing around with, and you just insert that theme, that name of that theme. And let's say you want to switch from this to Nordic, you just go, you know, Vim, what was it, theme, and oh, we're on Capuchin right now, so instead of that, let's go Nordic. Boom, and now we're over to Nordic. That's it, and off to the races you go. Oh, avoid Xmonad for sane defaults. 100%, 1000%. So it's great. That is just fantastic. So thank you guys for coming out today. YouTube, see you guys later. I'll probably be streaming probably Thursday sometime. We'll get going again. So YouTube, I'm gonna drop you guys off, and then we will raid somebody. We'll put that in.